Who is this mystery lady? Well, they call her the boss. Today on The Town Show. Talk about Van Helsing, Season 2, Episode 12, Crooked Falls. Now in this episode, you guys will not be seeing my beautiful face. I'm actually under the weather. But fear not, I will be back for the Van Helsing season finale. You will be seeing my beautiful mug then for Black Days. Let's jump off with the fact that Scarlett is having these weird visions in her dreams. So the elder, he kind of hit it and split, right? Vanessa got shot in the last episode, and looks like her being shot severed the connection between her and the elder. So the elder did the very best next thing. He jumped onto the next Van Helsing. So now he's giving Scarlett these creepy dream visions, trying to reach her and make her open the door. She picked up pretty quickly. She told Axel, and that's what we realized, that they're at Crooked Falls. Now, a little bit of a recap here. We saw in previous episodes how this group of people were sending out these balloons. They didn't really elaborate much on it, but basically, after the rising, the only places that were safe were places that were exposed to sunlight most of the day. So let's break down the new people that we met at Crooked Falls. So we have Jessie. Jessie is the daughter of a fireman. That kind of explains her attitude, where she feels like she has to send out these balloons to save people because her father basically said the job is not done till the last man is home and safe. And we also met Dennis. Now Dennis is a penis from the jump, right? And another thing, wardrobe. Why is Dennis' clothes so damn tight? Did Dennis steal Muhammad's clothes and wardrobe when they weren't looking? He's like, this guy's off of the show. He's a vampire. Let me take his clothes. Man, Dennis, they gave you, your clothes are too small, dude. We also had another character. He was in the whole episode. I thought this guy was going to die because they never mentioned his name, right? Nobody knows his name. He just walked around all day. They never mentioned his name. Even the dog, Shadow the dog. We know that Shadow the dog, right? But they never mentioned this character's name. So he basically walked around the whole episode like no one ever mentioned his name. Well, I looked it up. His name is McGrath, right? And lastly, but not least, we have the boss. Now, this was very interesting. The whole episode, I kind of knew where we were going. I was like, wait a second, this lady's out there by herself and that's how she does things? And she has all the badass lines that a Vanessa of Van Helsing, a Scarlett would say. She's like, I don't need nobody's help, never have, I got this. This lady was ballsy, man. I loved it. So we saw that she was fierce with the machete when she saved Doc. And another thing, Doc has really bad luck when it comes to cars. Doc, you have no business being around a car. Last time you got pulled over in the apocalypse where cops hadn't even been working, and now here you are trapped in another car. So stay away from vehicles. From now on, it's just walking for you, Doc. So back to the boss. Later on, we saw that she was quite adept when it came to, around vampire bloods, and she knew vampire physiology. And the doc was like, well, I didn't think you would be into science, basically, because you look so badassery, right? Well, she was into science, and that's when my spidey sense started tingling, and I said to myself, this has to be Van Helsing's mother. This has to be Vanessa's mother, has to be Scarlett's mother, and at the end, we had the whole Darth Vader, Luke, in this case, Scarlett, I am your mother, right? Scarlett, I am your mother. That's what happened, basically, and Scarlett's jaw just dropped and the episode ended. So we have found the Van Helsing's mother, and she is as badass and as fierce and as smart and as intelligent as we expected. And I hope she has that Indiana Jones hat somewhere, because I want to see it. And they also found Callie. And let me tell you something about this little girl. I think this little girl, there's something more to her. There might be something to her. She might be a Van Helsing. I don't know. Callie is a survivor. She doesn't have any weapons, and she just be running around the apocalypse all by herself. Like, this little girl is a badass. And she's also technically adept. And then she said at one point in the episode, I'm not just a kid, I know things. I think there's more to this Callie character. I don't think it's coincidence or luck that she's still around the apocalypse. So stay tuned for that one. Let's see where that goes. Julius is alive. He made it. The Van Helsing bite held, so he's not a vampire. And this creepy vampire looks like he either escaped or was sent from the mountain. The guy with the scar on his face, his name is Scarhead, and that's what it said from the credits. And he brought this group of pharaohs. They've either been genetically modified, they're either being controlled or manipulated by the scary, ugly scar vampire, like Axel called him. Also, we saw a very tragic thing happen in this episode. Flesh and Lucky looks like they were gonna have a baby, which was, I was like, wow. And obviously Flesh took it like anybody would in the apocalypse, so facing everything that's happening. Like, is this a place to bring a child into? Usually regular life terrifies a person to bring a child into, but not in the vampire apocalypse. What are we gonna do? And then Lucky went out like such a badass, y'all. She pulled on that grenade and she took all the pharaohs with her. Ah, man. Rest in peace, Lucky. R.I.P. I really enjoyed her character. I was hoping you go further. She was such a badass lady. And I just love the height difference between her and Flesh. That was so cool. So that actress, good job. We're going to miss her character. I think it was, she definitely went out like a badass. But she took the baby. I thought because of the baby, she would try to be turned back. But no. So we lost Lucky in this episode. And at the end, we saw those 2 graves. And if you look closely, it said Flesh and Lucky on them. That's where Axel buried them. And I'm assuming he didn't have much remains to bury. But anyway, guys, this is the Tone Show. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What did you guys think about Crooked Falls? I'm going to be back, hopefully, with my beautiful face for the next episode for Black Days. So make sure to hit me with a like, subscribe to the channel if you like what I do here. And as always, Tone Show.
Remember to like and subscribe for more Tone Show.